The two-bucket method. If you're familiar with the two-bucket method, then you know about the two-bucket method. If you don't know it, fuck it, I'll tell you about the two-bucket method. Whoa, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Steve from the Valley Garage. Today, we're gonna be cleaning a couple of bikes. Now, you wash your bike the way you wash your bike, right? There's a million different ways to do that. Some people asked, how do I do my bikes? How do I clean? What are my tips and tricks that I use? And I thought today would be a great episode to do that. Film how I detail my bikes. Award-winning bikes. Today, we are going to be detailing some motorcycles. Now, I already did them too, but I'm going to be detailing this here Fury. You wash your bike like you wash your bike. That's totally cool. There's a million different ways to wash your bike. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I detail my bikes. I love frequently going to bike shows and entering the competition to see if I can win. See who has the best bikes. It's cool to do. If you have a bike meet near you, definitely would say check it out. You meet some really great people there, see some really cool bikes, and you can get ideas on how, if you have a similar bike, how other people do their builds to give you an idea to help you help yours. Like I said before, there's a bazillion different ways to wash your bike, but I'm going to give you some of my tips and tricks and some things you may not know about when washing bikes. Tools of the trade. Most importantly, one of the worst things that happens, not the worst things, one of the most difficult things that could happen while you're washing your bike, especially during sunny days, is the water will dry too fast in the sun and you will get water spots. And if you have hard water, you're going to have leftover minerals and stuff on the bike, and it's a pain in the bing bags to take care of. So I've washed in the shade. I've washed, if you have a shady area, I advise you wash in the shade. If it's a cloudy day, not a cloudy, non-raining day would be the ultimate best way. But what I went ahead and did was got myself a pop-up tent. Now, you got to move a little bit in the shade as the day goes on, but surprisingly, I am able to fit the Fury in the 10x10 shade. Now, I do not run the risk of the sun drying up too quickly and earlier on. And what I do is I mist the bike periodically and I do the bike in sections. A tent or shade is definitely key. Also, a schnozzle with multiple settings. Jet, mist, full, angle, flat, shower. Believe it or not, water is actually abrasive. Now, if the bike is too dirty and you go to jet stream here and just start spraying away, you can actually scratch your paint. The dust and the rocks and things could actually, when you get washed away, can scratch. So, it's hard to tell, but there is some, you don't want to run your fingers over the paint either, whether it's plastic, chrome, or paint, metal, or otherwise. You do not want to rub your fingers in there. You will scratch your paint. You don't want to rush hard water like a jet stream right on the bike as well, because that too also will scratch the top layer of the bike. But you could always buff out imperfections and things. Later on, I do a detailed wipe down. Shade, schnozzle. Also, you're gonna need a set of brushes. What I use, or I have been using, is Muck Off. These guys are great. They have great product. They have all kinds of tools in this here bag. I'll put a link in the description below. But you got a little hard angle brush. You've got muck and grime brush, chain brush. You get yourself a nice soft brush. You don't want to scratch your paint with a hard brush like this. Don't use a Brillo pad. It's just not good. It's not good to do. So you want to have soft brushes. You want to have good soap. Now, there's a million bazillion products out there. I've tried a couple of them. One of the most common ones, especially the Harley guys like to use, S100. I didn't really like it that well. I went out and got S100 because other people said it. It's okay, it does the job. Depending on your different plastics, if you have, and your different color, if you have aftermarket mirrors and stuff, especially with the Fury, I used S100 on my side mirrors and it actually melted away and pulled the paint off and dulled the paint. So I was like, okay, S100, you're out. I would use S100 for maybe motor parts, dirt and grime, or dirty rims. Give this a all the way around. Let that sit, and then you can wash your rims to get the big bulk stuff off. So I don't recommend that, or I don't really use that much. For my main soap that I absolutely love to use, and I've been using for years and years, Simple Green. I buy the concentrate. I just dump a good amount in my bucket. I also got the combo. I've got Simple Green and concentrate with a spray, so I can spray certain areas. This stuff I absolutely love. So what I recommend and what I always use is Simple Green. Not a sponsor, that's what I use. I use Simple Green for my main soap, and then my polish detail, which is literally the greatest stuff on the market I've ever used in my life, hands down, and that is Maxima's SC1, aka high gloss coating, aka new bike in a can. This stuff is phenomenal. When I had my GoPro and I dropped it and I smashed a big scratch in the fuel tank of the Fury, this stuff filled in the gap. When I buffed it through, it came completely clean. I was completely shocked using this product. I went to my local shop, they ordered it. A couple guys said this is the greatest stuff on the planet. I said, well, let me try it, and I did. Phenomenal. I cannot speak highly enough of SC1 new bike in a can. So yes, wash with soap, Simple Green, concentrate, spray bottle, and in the bucket, and SC1 to polish up, do the final cleaning. You got your tent, you got the shade. You're not going to worry about the bike drying up too quickly, giving you water spots. You've got your brush cleaning, you've got your Simple Green, and you got your SC1 to finalize the bike. The method that everyone should be doing is the 2-bucket method. The 2-bucket method. If you're familiar with the 2-bucket method, then you know about the 2-bucket method. If you don't know it, fuck it, I'll tell you about the 2-bucket method. The 2-bucket method is very simple. One bucket has plain water in it. The other bucket has your soap. Now, these are extended reach soft brushes, very much like the Muck Off one. It just happens to have a longer handle. So the idea with the 2-bucket method is you have your brush, you got your soap, you wash your bike. When you're done washing it, you then take it, because there's dirt in the brush, and dump it in the clean water, give it a rinse. By doing so, you're loosening up the dirt particles out of the brush, and then you're going back into the soap. If you don't use 2 buckets, you're washing your bike with the soapy water. Then it's dirty. You put it in. You get more soap. There is debris still on the brush. And the last thing you want to do is, after cleaning, is if there's any debris and road grime and dirt still in the brush, you don't want to smash that in your paint and in your clear coat, thus breaking it, wearing it down even more. That's how you get swirls. You don't want swirls with the paint job. So I used the 2-bucket method with 2 brushes. When I wash the bike, I wash in stages. First, I wash the controls, then the front end, Then I do the tank in the back. Then I do the right side and then the left side of the motor. Then I finalize with the swing arm. Ideally, you want to follow gravity. Gravity goes down. You don't want to start washing the bottom of your bike because then you're getting the heaviest dirt and road grime. You're now putting it in your brushes and back on the top. It's top down. So I start controls first, front end, tank, main body, left side, right side. Then you can do under your fenders, around the swing arm and the bottom of the motor and your radiator. So what I want to do, obviously, watch your air intake. You don't want to spray that with the water and have water go inside the bike. Not good. So you either wrap it up with saran wrap or just don't spray it and be careful. Okay, you can't just willy-nilly this stuff. This is an art and it's a science. So what I'll do is I'll set to mist first. And I missed it. I don't want to go jet stream, okay? I don't want to start blasting the dirt and the grime and the motor of the bike. I just want to simply mist. Nice soft cloud. Start getting condensation almost looking like. Again, take your time. You're not rushing, you're here to impress, right? Take your key out. This isn't a race, this is your machine, this is your beauty. This is what's gonna make you win awards at bike shows. Okay? Look at that bead action. I'll talk about this later, but if the water on your bike is beading like this, that's how you know it's dirty. Beading water is dirty. Sheeting water is clean. More on that later on. Continue to mist. Okay? Next, what I do, I grab my Simple Green in the concentrate spray bottle and I spray the whole bike. You may have to switch hands because your fingers will get tired. What's nice about Simple Green, it's completely biodegradable. It's completely safe for the environment, and when you're done with your water, you could just pour it in the grass. You're not going to be killing your grass, you're not going to be killing the environment. Okay, so now that you misted your bike, what's happening now is Simple Green, the cleaning product, it's separating the oils and the grease, and it's lifting off the dirt from the bike at a concentrated level. This is why I use the concentrate. Now I want to introduce a little bit more water. I'm going to mist. Right, get the soap working. Slightly mist, okay? That looks great. Absolutely looking cleaner already. All right, so now that the bike is wet and the Simple Green is on there, I'm now gonna commence with my brushes. Now, again, I'm using my 2-bucket method. Clean water, soapy water. Blue for water, white for clean. I'm kidding. If you have a bucket, just use a bucket. All right, now the reason why I use the 2-brush method as well is I do everything in symmetrical order. So I'll do one side, get a good concentration of soap on one side of the controls, and then I'll grab the other brush while that one's soaking and it's separating the dirt into the clean bucket. Clean bucket, soap bucket. Now the other side of the bars. Okay. Now that the brushes are soaking, I'm going to then go to my schnozzle here and go to shower, my favorite wash angle. I'm going to shower the part that I just washed. Okay? While I'm here, the soap is kind of drying all over the bike, so give it a quick rinse. Get things wet again. The key to not having spots is to make sure the bike's always wet while washing. Next up, I'll do the triple tree, the tree, and the fork on the front end. Dirt is lifted off my brushes, they're clean, into the soap. Here we go. Nice SLK headlight. Get some buggies on it, that's okay. Good. Light's good. Front forks. Now a fender. And shower. Shower the whole bike, then shower what you washed. Here's the perfect example to see if your washing skills are enough. So, I didn't touch the back fender, right? Give it a little shower. It immediately starts to beat up. See that? You're sheeting, 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 but now you're beating. Okay, now I just washed the front. Get this wet. Sheeted right off, no beating. That's how I know it's clean. Here's the forks. It's sheeting on the bottom, but it's beating up here. It's not clean. I need to clean it again. Take my brush. Now this one I quickly cleaned, and this one I just re-cleaned. Okay? Do you see the difference? This side is sheeted off here, and that entire side is still beating. Sheeted, a little bit of water drops. Not sheeting. Drops all over the place. So, I'm gonna wash this one again. Rinse. Sheeting. No beating. We're gonna have a little bit, obviously it's water, but look how now there's only a couple drops. You don't have a million dots all over the place. Now, what I could do is I could wash this again. You keep going until all the water basically sheets off. That's how you know the whole area is basically, it's clean. Depends on how crazy you want to go. I'm not going to a biker show for a while now, so to me this is clean enough. If you want to do a once off quick rinse, that's okay too, but you really want to make sure that you're cleaning the best of your abilities, right, for whatever occasion that you're going and doing. Now, You can say, oh, all the bazillion different ways. There's different ways of cleaning stuff. That's fine. Again, this is how I clean. This is how I wash my bikes. This is how I've been doing my bikes for a very, very long time, many, many years. It's this method. All right, let's move on. Open the gas cap, close the gas cap, go with the lines of the bike. Shower. Every time you finish a part, you're gonna want to shower. Here's the back seat, back fender, pre-wash. Sheeting. That's clean, no beads. There's a little bit dirt over here. I can clearly see. To take the seat off and get underneath the seat. Ooh. If you ever drop your brush, go back in the clean water, because if you drop it on the ground, you're gonna pick up more rocks and shit. Always have a clean brush. I usually clean the back side. I never really clean under the seat. And if I wet everything, you can clearly tell where the seat was, how it's beading, and the other rest of the fender is clean. Almost immediately, it goes right to bubbles. Perfect line, you can see. Gotta ask yourself, how clean is your bike when you clean it? When you clean it right. Gotta ask yourself, how clean is your bike when you clean it right? Good. Now, the soap to me is a little not so sudsy as I want it to happen. So I'm gonna add a little bit more concentrate into my bucket. Nice. Foamy. All right, I'm gonna rinse off the bike and I'm gonna start on the left side. Keep those dry spots from happening. It's my mailman, Stan. Stan the man, the mailman man. Hey Stan, how you doing?
How you doing today?
Doing okay.
Alright, here we are.
That's it, enjoying the weather. Right, Stan the man. Yeah. Get the motor, side of the motor. Bottom of the motor, chrome, the plastics, the side, this side. Okay. Oh, missed. And missed the whole bike. In this case, shower it. Onto the other side. Yeah. Under the bottom, boo-doo-doo. Side of the frame, rail. Introduce some more soaps. Soapy dopey dope. Okay. Carefully rinse. Okay, shower. Around the air intake. Air scoop from SLK Customs. Not a sponsor. I just make a cool product that looks sick. Shower. Shower and rinse. Only thing left I have is the swing arm. So let's go to the back. I usually leave the swing arm for last because it has the most dirt. Now, when it comes to rims, it could be a real difficult thing, a real pain in the ass to clean the rims sometimes. But my workaround is this. I picked this up at Harbor Freight. You can also get it on Amazon as well. I'll put a link in the description below. But this thing you can ride up on with your rim and have free air access to cleaning the rim. I'll show you. Got my neighbors coming down. Here he is. What's he know about detailing? Probably nothing. He ain't got no detail skills on me. He ain't got no detail skills on me. Up in air. Roll it up. And now you have free access to roll your rim around and clean what you got to clean. Now when it comes to cleaning rims and tires, what I found that works the best for me is Black Magic Bleach White. It's one of the best ones that you can have if you have white wall tires yourself to clean. My white wall tires, as you know, some people say it's a real bitch to clean, but with this and the wheel, it makes it a breeze. You can do this dry and spray it on the rim, let it sit, then take a rag and wipe it off. But I like to use a little bit of soap and water, and I like to use what's nice in the muck off kit is this little tiny brush. It's coarse enough. There's no paint on your rim you don't have to worry about. I wouldn't advise this using on chrome, but if you have painted rims like this here Fury, or if you have any kind of tire, white wall or not, this is perfect for cleaning up that. So what I do is I wet the bike down, the tire, spray it on, and use this tiny brush and scrub. Really isn't that hard. White walls turn a yellow color over age. I hadn't cleaned the Grom in 3 years. A little bit of bleach white, a little bit of brush action, and I was able to restore that white wall look on my Grom. The white walls just make this bike. I love the white. Makes it pop, adds a cool little extra character to it. Black and gold with white. Fantastic, she's crisp. So, bleach white, even though the name says white in it, you can use it for any kind of tires. Do the tire and the rim. And just go to town. One thing with tires is they can get a lot of brake dust, and this bleach white cuts right through that. Brake dust itself gives it like this little orange or this kind of a burnt color on the tire. You don't get that true black. It looks, you can clearly tell that it looks dirty. But that little simple action that I did is all you need. Really, really, after done scrubbing, you want to make sure you thoroughly wash everything down. If you don't want that matte, dry looking color and you want that shiny high gloss wet, Black Magic also makes a high gloss tire shine as well. Same product, except the bleach white is for cleaning and the high gloss regular Black Magic stuff, tire shine is an after you're done washing, you would apply that. So this side is good. I'm going to move on to the next. See that yellow color coming out? Just to show you how dirty the rims actually work. I haven't misted the whole bike in a while, so I'm going to do just the same. Drying watermarks don't form up. Again, once you use bleach white, you really want to make sure you rinse everything off. This tool isn't the greatest thing to use first off, right off the bat. It gets a little frustrating, especially with the front tire. The back tire is definitely a lot more easier to use, simply because you don't have to deal with the wishy-washy of the forks. Now that I let that sit, I'm going to rinse both sides, do a final wash down on the bike. Then I'll begin the drying process. Okay, so the next step is the drying process. Now, I don't ever use a towel on the paint and on the chrome and things like that because it could scratch, right? So what I do is I use air from my air compressor. I have a little pancake compressor, which you know goes off all the time. If you don't have one of these, but the next step better would be a backpack leaf blower or a handheld, just something to you want to basically get all the water droplets off and dry as quickly as possible. That way you minimize twofold. You minimize water droplets drying up and forming, but also by not using a brush, you save your paint and your clear coat and your chrome and everything else. So I just simply start with the controls. It's great having a gun like this so you can spray in between all the fins itself. You can open up your gas tank here, clean underneath that, clean the switches. And so now what you want to do is just air gun as best as you can the big bulk of the water off, and we'll let it dry, and then we'll go on to the polishing process. Really helpful too, because you can get inside the radiator itself and blast out any pebbles or things that might be caught in between the fins. Air gun works. Backpack leaf blower or leaf blower in general would be best. One of the coolest things about having your pipe wrapped is they dry pretty quickly due to the heat of the exhaust, and they're okay. So now the final part, the bike is completely dried up. I ran it for a little bit, got the pipes all hot up, heated up, steamed out all the stuff, the water. Now what we want to do is we want to use SC1. So you give it a great shake and spray in the areas that you want to have polished. I end up doing all materials because it's good on everything. The only thing I would advise to not spray is your leather seat, because it gets real slippery even with jeans. So shook it up a good amount, and what I'm going to do is just lightly coat, follow the contours of the bike, right? Do the chrome, do the tank. Do the mirrors, side, do the pipe, swing arm, fender, swing arm, the side, top of the bike. See some water droplets. You can't get everything, but you want to get as much as you can. Mirror, levers, backside, motor itself on the top. This smells amazing. It smells like cherries. All right, so once you spray it, you want to let it sit and it's going to naturally bring out the shine of the bike. Okay? Again, I'll put a link in the description below of all the product that I use during the video and all the products that I normally do. Again, none of this stuff is a sponsor. I just, over the years, been loving the way the products came out and how the bikes look. And so if you want to have results just like I do, this is the way to go. So once the SC1, new bike in the can, sits, give it about, let it dry. It becomes into like this little film. And then what I do is I go ahead and I get myself a microfiber mitt. This stuff, it's super soft and it won't scratch up your paint. And it really buffs it out and polishes it, and it makes it look pretty damn awesome. It makes the colors pop, things become more vibrant. It fills in the little swirls and imperfections in your paint, which gives you a very high gloss reflective look, which I like. If you don't like that, then I don't know what to tell you, but I want my bikes looking good. What else? Oh, what you can do too, especially if you have a dirt bike, you can spray SC1 underneath. If the bike is clean and swatched, if you just spray it on underneath your fender and leave it wet, it makes cleaning a breeze. Dirt and debris, which just rinses right off. But it's a great product. I love Maxima stuff, their oils, and anything for them, it comes out great. So you'll see it's starting to dry a little bit. It helps if it's in the sun. You don't really need the shade anymore. But the longer you let it sit, it becomes like a waxy film almost, and just circular motions on the paint. And my chrome, I try to go unidirectional. That gives you the best results for the chrome because it acts like a mirror. So that's it. When you do use SC1, I have like, this is my SC1 pad, right? I don't use this for washing or anything else. So by doing that, also it reduces the chance of this getting dirty. One thing you do not want to do is, while you're waiting for letting the set up, don't drop this. The microfiber picks up, it's like a Velcro to anything. So you want to make sure this is off the ground. Keep it in a clean bucket or a little plastic tote so it can't collect dust and stuff, because you don't want to keep adding scratches and swirls into your paint. It's not good. It ruins your finish, and you want to have your bikes last a very long time. So keeping this clean as much as possible. If you do drop it, you can use the air gun, and I just blast off what I can. Maybe send it through the wash with your clothes, get it washed, put it through the dryer on low just to dry it up, but try to avoid it falling at all costs. All right, well, since we're shooting this almost live here, now it should be perfect amount of time for the SC1 to set up and do what it wants to do. So the best part now is watching the color just pop. It is mirror high gloss finish. It looks phenomenal. So shake this up, get your little frillies out. We are good to go. So here we are. This camera is kind of shit, and it doesn't do true justice on the way this the colors pop, but do the best you can. Follow and wipe in the same direction that you always will wash. It just makes it easier, and we'll see how it comes out. So here we go. Oh my god, yes, dude. This is just perfect. You almost got to break in your rag a little bit. You may leave little kinds of flurry bits, fuzzy bits, but those come off in time. They dry right out. So you'll see some dots, but it comes right out. The more time you take microfibering, the better off the finish will be. Incredible. This is coming out phenomenal. I surprise me every freaking time I do this. It's almost freaking blinding. The camera just doesn't do justice. That red is popped. Oh, incredible. Jeez. Looking great. I wish it was a bike show right now because I guarantee I'd come home with a trophy. For sure. Bam. There you go. Look at that shine, man. Glossy. Real glossy. Hey, that's today's episode. I hope you learned a little thing or two, a quick tip or trick or something the way to learn to wash your bike. We learned about beading and sheeting. We learned about the 2-bucket system. We learned about the 2-brush systems to do everything symmetrical as you go around and cleaning the bike and detailing it, making it look extra sweet, extraordinary, and it is exquisite, man. Shiny, sharp. I'll tell you one thing, we're ready to win trophies, boy, this year. We're ready to win. All right, till next episode. Peace.